to learn about the law. And we're going to do that on this program called Legal Lane with Vanessa Lane Jennings. Vanessa is in the studio. Let me put the camera on her and that we can see her beautiful face. Look at that smile over there. How you doing, Vanessa?
I'm doing well. How's everybody?
Good. If you are listening and you have a question about the law, please feel free to call in. We have fun with Vanessa, and as we do all of our guests, and obviously an attorney has a serious job and handles serious situations. So it is kind of weird that we're asking you to call in with your serious question right in the middle of us being jovial about something. But we want you to do that because we'll learn. We'll learn from your questions. If you want to call in with your questions, the number is 622-9622. It can be about you. It can be about somebody else. You can pretend it's about somebody else. There are so many different things that we find ourselves in a bind with. And get a lawsuit. Can you imagine getting a lawsuit in the mail? How do they deliver a lawsuit anyway? So let's find out some things. The number is 622-9622. Good morning again, Vanessa.
Good morning. We talked a couple weeks ago about the Hulk Hogan case.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that they're now contesting that?
No, I didn't see that part of it.
Yeah, they're viewing that it was all made up and that all the allegations were false and they had proof of it. And all the evidence that was like suppressed and didn't come in, well, suppressed is the wrong word, but it was excluded from trial, would have shown that Gawker was correct.
Oh. About what?
Or they weren't so much in the wrong.
Okay, but were the facts accurate? I mean, did somebody actually film him without him knowing? How does that happen?
Well, where were you to be, if you're doing it in places where people could see you?
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
On the beach? Where was he?
Oh, restaurant, on a curb,
First of all, I would like to point out that Robin said first at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Robin.
It's filet mignon.
Apparently it's Mark's in her world.
Could you ever sue anybody for... Now, how does a lawsuit...
Yeah, I could sue lots of people.
I was going to say for an April Fool's joke, but it's a dumb question. So
well, you potentially could. I mean, it depends on if it goes awry. April Fool's jokes go awry a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they do.
Yeah, that's why they're not allowed in my family.
They're not allowed in your family?
Oh, yeah. Well, I made that rule up.
Well, it's a there are certain pranks that I wouldn't think were funny. Like calling me up to tell me you were dying of cancer or something like that. That wouldn't be funny.
No, that's not funny ever.
No. But people use that as a joke or something like that. Or the dog died. Oh, right. No. Right? No, don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, because that could have serious other consequences. With
right.
my luck, if I did that to someone, that would cause them so much stress and they would have a heart attack. And then I'd feel guilty for the rest of my life.
Of course you would.
So
of course
I try to keep pranks to a minimum in my universe.
But let me ask you this question: when a lawsuit is filed, Donald Trump is every time you turn around, he's threatening to sue somebody for something. So I'm guessing
That's exciting.
Does he actually do this though? Does he actually file a lawsuit? So let's just put myself in the position of the person being sued. God forbid. What would happen? I mean, would I get a letter in the mail? Would I get a deputy at my door? How would I find out that I was being sued?
Potentially both.
Both.
The way that it would normally work is that someone would go to either attorney or do it themselves, because you theoretically could just go to the courthouse and fill out the forms.
Right.
And then once a summons is issued, they take that and they either give it to the sheriff's office here or a deputized process server, and you get a little knock on your door, and they're like, "You're served."
Hello.
Oh.
And then you have X amount of days to answer it. Depending on different types of lawsuits, there's different requirements. For example, for an eviction, you have 5 days to take yourself down to the courthouse, and not only do you have to answer, but you have to put money in the register. You have 5 days to actually they're evicting you for non-payment of rent, and let's say it's $3,000.
Right.
2 months. So if you don't have $3,000 to put in the court registry, then that's one of the ways you answer. Like it's mandatory. Then you're never going to win that case.
We do have a phone call. Let's take that phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, one of the more famous malicious libel cases was Quentin Reynolds and Westbrook Pegler. Westbrook Pegler was a newspaper columnist, and everybody basically hated him. because he would write nasty things in his syndicated column, and this was during the McCarthy era, and in print he had called Quentin Reynolds a card-carrying communist.
Okay.
And Quentin Reynolds sued him for libel.
Because he wasn't a card-carrying communist.
He didn't have a card.
He sued him for $1.
$1.
He demanded a retraction in the column, and he demanded payment of $1.
Well, I mean, it was, several decades ago. The dollar was worth a little bit more.
Must have paid the lawyer, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had to pay. Mr. Pegler had to pay Mr. Reynolds' lawyer. He hired a pretty high-priced lawyer, so.
Are you?
The
All right.
lawyer got paid.
Interesting story. Yeah.
It is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
I do like, those kind of cases where people, they go after for the principle of the matter, but they actually are correct. Because sometimes you get for the principle and they're not correct. But I like it when they, you shouldn't do this.
So then that lawyer had like a flat fee then, instead of a percentage of the,
20
take, because it
cents.
was $1. They sued him for $1. So is that how most?
It was probably an hourly case.
Oh, okay.
So he just billed and then forever, because there's certain things that we do in our office for knowing that we would sue for attorney's fees. But the client knows that if you don't win, they have to pay that. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, okay.
A lot of in family law, we get those a lot with motions for contempt, when one party, let's say, knows that they're supposed to take Junior to Dad's house, by 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve, and the mom says, "Nope, I want to keep them Christmas Eve and Christmas Day," and you can just
Oh, wow.
have a rough Christmas.
So how do you enforce a non-monetary condition of a lawsuit settlement? For example, Jim just said it was $1 plus you had to retract the story.
Correct.
So he pays the $1. Let's say he never retracts the story. In other words, there's never another article saying, "Whoops, we made a mistake." How do you enforce that?
Motion for contempt and enforcement.
Oh, and is that actually worse? Could you actually go to jail for contempt?
On that particular case, I'm going to presume that would be the absolute last straw. You're going to go through lots of different things. You're going to go through the first contempt hearing, which they're just going to say, "Go do it," and then you're going to go through, and then you're not going to do it, and then you're going to go through another contempt hearing where they say, "Okay, now go do it again," and then if you don't, then this is what we're going to do.
Okay, because this is kind of, I just thought of something aside from that, but it's in the same line. When we were talking about when the country was talking about the Affordable Care Act before it was passed.
Correct.
This is what we were told. We were told that you would be mandated to buy insurance. If you didn't buy insurance, you would have a penalty. The penalty cost less than the monthly dollar amount you'd have to pay for insurance. So some people said, "Okay, I'll just do the penalty."
Correct.
But then, I guess after 3 years, if you still didn't buy insurance, then you would be in contempt of court because you were being ordered on the 3rd year to buy insurance.
Okay.
Okay. So does that mean that on the 3rd year, which I think is coming up, right?
But that's not how it originally. Or I think that's how originally. That's not how it is now.
It isn't. Okay.
I don't believe, because the way they redid it, because the way they got it passed, my understanding was that they treat it as a tax. Mm-hmm. So you're being taxed instead of it being a mandate, because they are different.
Okay.
So that's how the Supreme Court got around.
Because if you don't have car insurance, right? And you're caught driving without car insurance, right? They
get a ticket.
They suspend you, and they suspend your license, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. Don't they take your license away for a while?
You get a ticket if you're habitualized.
Oh.
Okay. So then if you're caught driving after the license is suspended, then you could go to jail, right?
Yes, in Florida, not in all states. So we will preface this for people who are driving through. In the state of Florida, that is driving with license suspended, canceled, or revoked is the charge. The first couple times you get it, the first 3 times you are in misdemeanor land, but then once you become habitualized, they go ahead.
Misdemeanor land.
Yeah, misdemeanor land.
Theme park.
It is. Then you go to felony land, which is also a theme park, but less fun and exciting, and the consequences are much, much different. I had one of my first cases that was just eye-opening to the judicial system as a defense attorney was a 60-year-old lady who got her license suspended. It's a cycle.
Right.
She owned her own house. She was a nurse. She owned everything. You would look at her and you would not think that she was the drudge of society, but she was on her 6th time driving with license canceled. And the reason is that her son was supposed to take her, but her son had an alcohol problem, and her son would drink.
Oh, man.
But the only way she was able to pay the bills was if she would take late shifts, and she worked at Shands. So there was just times where
She had no choice.
She had no choice, and she would do it. And she was on probation and violated it on her. It was her 6th going into her 7th time, and that's when I stepped in. And they were looking to put her away for 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
So when I say it's driving with license suspended is a big deal.
That's a serious thing, yeah.
Because
it's-
especially with the judge. I mean, the judge is not. He's still a judge, but he's just not a judge in Marion County right now. They're like, if you're going to break that type of law, that was big. Every judge has their own things that are serious to them.
And so it sounds like it's not as much the fact that you violated the law as much as you challenged or went against the court order.
Right. Well, you knew, because you're on, especially then, you knew you were on probation and you knew you weren't supposed to do it. And this is the 7th time doing it. We're just
7th. Wow. So
we
how
were
much?
done.
What was the end result of that one? Did she?
I believe it was a year in jail. She
Oh.
So it was what she had to
Wow.
do. But I didn't come onto the case until month 6. So it was she only stayed a little bit longer because she had gained time and all that.
Wow.
So by the time we were done, she had like 30 days left.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
Wow.
And she wanted to work. She had a job, but she had no transportation.
Yep, she just had no way to get there.
Wow.
We have another phone call. Vanessa Lane Jennings is here to answer your legal questions. And Vanessa, we have a call from Miss Othmar. Miss Othmar. Miss Othmar? What? Could you hear?
I could.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a very serious problem, Miss Othmark. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Can you say?
Your children in your classroom are doing what?
They're doing something.
They're doing something. Oh, there's a little girl who's keep pulling a football away.
Oh, that's always a
boy.
problem.
That is a problem.
I don't know if you want to sue the little boy though. Would that be?
Well, why would the little boy? He's the victim in this. That's right. Little girls are mean. That is a serious situation. I would definitely contact their parents, and if you can't get any results from that, I would definitely advise the little boy's parents that potentially to call the Jennings law firm.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was nice. It was nice of her to say that last piece.
That's very nice.
That was sweet. Okay. I like a happy.
Hello, happy April 1st.
That was good. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the call. All right, we'll take more calls on the other side. This is WOCA Ocala.
Weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunshine mixed with some clouds. We'll have a thunder shower in a couple of spots during the afternoon today. Warm with a high of 85 to 90. Partly cloudy and warm with a spotty thunderstorm near the coast during the evening tonight. Low of 67 to 73. Cloudy with a shower thunderstorm tomorrow. A high of 78 to 86. And then we get lower humidity on Sunday. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
We're saving thousands with Robert Palmer.
So rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around. If you're trying to get a mortgage, if you're trying to get the best credit card, if you're looking at student loans, cell phone bills, you name it, rule number one is always shop around. Always shop around.
That's rule number one, just one more vital part of fighting back to stop being a financial zombie. Yes, you can take the mystery out of the complicated world of finances. Take charge when it comes to your money. Listen in on The Source, 96.3 FM and 1370 AM, Saturdays at 12:05.
Putting the local back into radio. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. WOCA News. Variety. Information. Now. Keep your arms and legs on the inside at all times.
WOCA AM 1370.
96.3. 96.3 FM.
We are The Source. WOCA. News, talk, sports, and more.
All right, eight minutes before 11 o'clock. We're talking about the law. Legal Lane is the name of this program. Vanessa Lane Jennings is your host, and Vanessa, of course, is an attorney here in Ocala. And right now, because of the radio show, you can get some free information from Vanessa simply by calling 622-9622. We will all learn from your question and Vanessa's answer. Otherwise, you can call Vanessa at her office. What is your office number?
352-804-0092.
I'm getting a dry throat, Robin. It's a good day to get a dry throat, Friday. No, it's a cold. I got something happen. I got cold starting or whatever. That's why I got these things.
You brought up an interesting point during the break about videotaping or audio recording things, that if you think you're doing it out of generosity, it might come back to bite you one day if you're the professional.
Yes, no, because we were talking about a medical procedure and how a doctor here in town gives you a DVD copy of it, which I was floored. I don't know if I would ever want to watch a DVD procedure.
They do that with the colonoscopy, too. They give you a DVD.
Yeah. Okay. The eye surgery I was a little wary of. I'm definitely not watching that. But yeah, because I would just say from a legal standpoint, that would just be interesting on the part, because if the doctor made any kind of errors and they give you the DVD, you then have the proof right in your hands. Mm-hmm. So it's good for the patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good for the patient. Yeah, because people like to keep records of things, especially now in this day and age of technology. They like to have visual recordings of stuff that they can share, but I never thought about that aspect of it.
Leave it to the lawyer.
Point.
Yeah, leave it to the lawyer to find out the problem.
There's so many things you have to be, it makes sense why medicine costs so much.
It does, because people sue.
Because people sue, and you have to protect yourself. It says we were talking about this. The cost of an assisted living facility is so high, but at the same time, they must get their share of lawsuits, right?
I would think so.
We have a phone call coming in. Good morning. You're on the air with Vanessa.
Hey, good morning, Vanessa, Larry, Robin.
Hey, Joe.
I don't know how to ask the question, Vanessa, but there was a really bad situation that happened last weekend down on First Avenue, downtown Ocala. A couple of girls were walking out of one of the clubs and were attacked by people unknown to them, and two of the girls went to the hospital and stuff, but everything I read in the paper yesterday indicates it would be a hate crime. If the prosecutors don't try and prosecute it as a hate crime, how would you contract an attorney to kind of push in that direction?
Well, you could always hire an attorney for the victim. There's been several cases that I've dealt with where it was a criminal matter, but I represented the victim in that particular matter, just because they knew that the state attorney's office does an amazing job, and I'll always, I was a prosecutor, so I'll always say that. It's a job. So, the voice of the victim sometimes wants to be extra loud, and that's when they hire independent counsel. But also, they could also look for civil If they find out, they find the gentleman or whomever who did it, then they can go ahead and sue them civilly. And then the same attorney could take that as well and go forward and do it.
All right. Thank you, Vanessa. Enjoy your show.
Thank you. Have a good day.
What is the line between criminal and civil for the different cases?
Well, let's go back. Remember the O.J. Simpson case?
Yeah.
That's always the easiest one to point to because he was found not guilty for the same exact thing criminally, but civilly he was sued and was found, to be liable.
Right.
And then he had to pay damages. So it's all about criminal is the crime. Like you broke a statute. So the state of Florida is going to come after you for breaking that statute. Where civilly, you also could have broke a different statute, but it's not a criminal statute. It's a civil statute.
Do you know, my question is, in a lot of cases, he mentioned the hate crime. I've often thought, if I stab you, God forbid I ever do this.
Larry's stabbing me in this. Okay.
And I stab you because I'm mad at you. If I stab you because I'm mad at you, why is that different than if I stab you because you're a white girl? I don't understand that. Isn't that what a hate crime is? I hate you because you're a white girl. I hate you because you're a black girl. I'm not.
Right. I hate you because you're.
I'm not trying to pick one race over the other. I'm just saying that's usually what a hate crime means. I hate you because you're a Yankee or whatever.
Well, I do not believe that would qualify as a hate crime because unfortunately, the hate crime is going to go towards your national origin or your sexual preferences. So,
Okay. So
let's, if you want to do that, it could be.
So why does that in other words, stabbing should be the focal point, not the motive behind the stabbing, no?
But think about it this way. The motive is always important.
Really?
It is. I mean, if you really think about it, because if it's premeditated, like if I am going to kill Robin, I'm killing you in the side.
Okay, there you go.
If I plan out.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have stabbed you, Vanessa. You wouldn't be killing Robin right now.
It's a vindictive ghost. What can I say?
Well, I didn't kill you. I just put a hole in you.
Okay. Now I'm just mad. I'm just killing everybody now. If I plan it out, that's premeditated murder. That is a higher degree than if Robin and you and I got in a fight and I just reached over, grabbed a knife, and stabbed you. So motive is always important. Or if I stabbed you because you were coming at me, you were lunging at me, and you had your own knife. Then, yet again, my motive is self-defense. So my motive is always important, I would say.
So a police officer, and this story happens, it seems like every week, shoots a young man. The white officer is white, the young man is black. We hear these stories like every week.
We do.
How do we know that it wasn't hate? How do we know that it wasn't self-defense? How do you defend that?
And I think that's one of the reasons Marion County has been, I don't want to say the word vigilant because I don't know if that's the correct word at all, but they've been cautious, and officers and deputies are now wearing body cams. So you can see what the circumstances are, and you could hear, because that's really the only way, because otherwise you're taking whatever witnesses' words are, whatever their testimony, or if the officer's the only one left standing, you're taking his word for it. And because, he's an officer, you're presuming that he's going to be telling the truth, and I didn't say I would be presuming that, but that's...
Well, I hope justice is served for those two women that Joe called in about.
Yeah, exactly. So too.
Yes. What is your phone number, Vanessa?
My phone number is area code 352-804-0092.
Call us here at WOCA if you need that phone number repeated. And remember, you can share these videos. We put them on YouTube and Facebook. And Vanessa Lane Jennings, thank you again. As always, it was fun today, April Fool's. We had a little fun moment today.
we did. It was a fun April Fool's. I could do that one.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.